Okay, right here is a 2004 Komatsu D575A-3. If you're ready to learn about this mountain mover, strap yourselves in, here we go. The D575A-3 series was first introduced by Komatsu in 2001 as a replacement for the older A2 series machine. Two configurations of this big girl were offered by Komatsu. The first was the Super Ripper version, which allowed the 575 to carry a 70.8 cubic yard blade. This is the Superdozer configuration of the 575, which was designed for high volume production work in mining and reclamation. The massive wall of steel that you see on the front of this bulldozer measures 11 feet 11 inches tall and 24 feet 3 inches wide, and it is designed to push and carry 90 cubic yards of material, which is a 53% increase in capacity over the smaller D475A-3 superdozer. Simply put, the D575A-3 was the largest production bulldozer in the world by a factor of nearly 2. The 575 featured an extra low machine profile, which provided for excellent stability when operating on steep grades, and also a re-silent equalized undercarriage, which allows the shoes to always follow the ground contour, providing seesaw bogie action, which provides for excellent traction and suspension over rough terrain. And the dozer's conventional undercarriage design also provided for low ground pressure. The 49 shoes per side deliver 23 pounds per square inch to the ground, and when equipped with the wider crawler shoe option, would deliver 21.8 pounds per square inch. The crawler rollers are mounted to the undercarriage frame with a series of X-type bogies for oscillating motion with rubber pad cushioning. And to help give you an idea of the sheer size of this monster, this dozer measures 16 feet tall from the ground to the top of the ROPS over the operator's cab, and 38 feet 5 inches long from blade to counterweight. This big dozer has a top travel speed of 7.5 miles per hour in forward and 8.3 miles per hour in reverse. Now, let's go up on this beast. Standing on the crawler right here, you can see just how massive the shoes are on this machine. 34-inch crawler shoes were standard on the 575. However, Komatsu also offered optional wider 36-inch pads for working on softer ground surfaces. Power for the 575 comes from a Komatsu SA12V170E, 4-stroke water-cooled direct injection, turbocharged and after-cooled V12 diesel engine with a 46.3-liter piston displacement, developing 1,150 horsepower at 1,800 RPM for this machine, which you can see looking right under the hood here. The engine on this dozer gears to a Komatsu torque flow transmission connected to an air-cooled 3-element, 1-stage, 1-phase torque converter. And hydraulic power on the 575 is developed from a 332 GPM multi-chamber gear-type hydraulic pump. And in the front, you can see the engine radiator. And check out how thick the superstructure is on this hog. Solid 3-inch thick steel. Mounted on the right side of this dozer is the diesel fuel tank, which you can see right here, which holds 555 gallons of fuel. To the right of the operator's cab, you can see a service compartment. Let's take a look inside. The D575A-3 featured a centralized service filter station, which provided quick access to all major filters for servicing the powertrain components, which you can see looking right down inside of here. And here you can see the ROPS, which protects the operator's cab in case the dozer should roll over. On the top of the engine house, you can see the 3 air intakes, and you can see the single big exhaust stack for the engine. Okay, buckle up, we're going inside the cab. From here you can get a good overview of the interior of the operator's cab. This is a fully adjustable suspension seat and travel console, which can be adjusted by 15 degrees to the right to allow for improved rear visibility during return cycles. Let's go and hop in. Okay, now let's take a look at what some of these controls do. On the floor, you can see 2 foot pedals. This pedal that you see over here on the right side controls the decelerator. And the big pedal that you see directly out in front of the operator's seat controls the track brake. And to the left of the brake pedal and out in front of the operator's seat, you can see 2 footrests. This joystick that you see over here on the left side controls all of the steering and maneuvering functions on this tractor. This dozer utilizes a palm command control system. The transmission joystick is ergonomically designed to provide the operator a relaxed posture with superb fine control. And how it works is very simple. Push forward to make the dozer go forward. The center is neutral, and pull back for reverse. And by turning this joystick to either the left or right will turn the dozer in that direction. And gear selection to either upshift or downshift the tractor is thumb actuated by 2 switches, which you can see right here. This joystick that you see over here on the right side controls all the functions of the blade out in front. And the blade control on this machine utilizes a proportional pressure control valve to enable fine control. Now, sitting in the cab of the 575, one thing you may have noticed is out in front you can see there's no front control console like you would find on the smaller D475A, which was removed on this machine and, in conjunction with the offset operator's cab, provides for excellent panoramic visibility. When compared to the older A2 series machine, the powertrain on the A3 utilizes a newer electronic control system, which registers the amount of joystick and control movement from each sensor and then calculates to accurately control the torque converter, transmission, steering clutches, and brakes for optimized operation. This machine utilizes an electronic controlled modulation valve for the transmission and steering clutches. When dozing and turning, the valve automatically controls the stroke ratio of the steering clutches and brakes, depending on the degree of load and incline, for smooth dozing and operation. And the benefits to this are shockless transmission clutch engagement, extended component life, reduced counter steering, and a smoother ride for the operator. This big dozer also features a preset travel speed selection function, which enables the operator to select forward and reverse from 3 preset functions, which are forward 1 and reverse 2, forward 2 and reverse 2, and manual shift, which automatically adjusts the dozer speed based on the selection when forward or reverse travel is selected. This big dozer also features an automatic torque converter lockup, which transfers all of the power directly to the transmission, increasing ground speed and making efficient use of engine power with reduced fuel consumption over long pushes. In addition, the 575 is also equipped with an automatic downshift function when the machine goes under heavy load. And from right here, you can get a crystal clear view of what the operator would see if he were running Komatsu's mountain mover. And if you look out the back window here, you can get a good view of the rear counterweight. Over here off to the right side, you can see all the gauges which will monitor this entire machine when it's in operation. On the left side of the engine bay, here you can see the 3 air cleaners for the engine. On the back of this massive tractor is a 6-ton rear counterweight. In Super Ripper configuration, the 575 was equipped with a massive single shank ripper capable of ripping to a depth of 6 feet 9 inches. And the overall operating weight of a D575A-3 in Super Ripper configuration is 144.5 tons. In Super Dozer configuration, this machine weighs in at 168.2 tons. During the early 2000s, sales continued to plummet for this machine for various reasons. First, the price of the big Komatsu was, in many cases, nearly 2.5 times that of its smaller rival, the Caterpillar D11, which absolutely blew this dozer out of the water in terms of sales. Secondly, an order received for a new 575 required idling and/or slowing down the assembly of the more popular D475 and 375 dozers in order to allocate workers and resources to hand build one of these machines, as all 3 dozers were built on the same assembly line, which thus affected sales of the 2 smaller machines. Additionally, because the Cat D11 was dominating the market, holding roughly 80% of worldwide dozer sales in its class, having a model larger than the D475A, which was more of a direct competitor to the Cat D11, simply made no sense. Therefore, following the shipment of the 12th and final unit in 2012, following a 5-year period without any sales, Komatsu closed the book on the 575 after 2 Super Ripper and 10 A3 Super Dozers had been built, which, when added to the 41 A2 series dozers produced, totaled 53 units that have been put into service all around the world. And to be fair, although Umberto Eco did develop a larger bulldozer than the 575, The fact that only one unit was built and never delivered is why the Komatsu D575A takes the crown as the largest production bulldozer to ever hit the market in history.